Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Carter Walton's palm may be short-lived. Does Carter actually suppose Steffy Forrester and Ridge Forrester will just sit back and accept him stealing the Forrester CEO seat? Carter is risking a whole lot for what may turn out to be a veritably brief period of price. Since Carter is resorting to purposeful deception on this LLC contract and misusing the power of his position, there's going to be trouble. Ridge and Steffy may eventually go after Carter for fraud if he manages to pull this off. This could launch a major reproach that ends Carter's career and brings legal consequences he really should have anticipated. Of course, Carter might enjoy a little stint on the Forrester throne where he reinstates Hope Logan and her line. Maybe Carter will also get the ball rolling on his global luxury brand idea and do whatever differently he sees fit as the company's new leader. Still, Carter could eventually crash and burn in further ways than one. For starters, hope for the future may continue to tank despite Carter's sweats to save it. Carter may also find that the Forresters were right to believe his transnational luxury empire plan was too parlous. What if Carter fails big time and threatens to do serious damage to Forrester Creations in the process? Anyhow, Carter is working to gain power through a sneaky strategy that could boomerang spectacularly. This is a sharp situation where Carter's conduct will inescapably come back to hang him. Carter may get a brief palm, but he's not going to master Steffy and Ridge long term. Rather, Ridge and Steffy may get the upper hand back by throwing some legal ramifications Carter's way. Although Carter has been making prognostications about the great effects he could negotiate, he may eventually lament sinking so low, especially if there are disastrous results. Carter has further drama ahead of him, so stick with us for updates on any bad news that's brewing. Carter Walton felt certain that Steffy Forrester and Ridge Forrester wouldn't notice anything was amiss with the LLC paperwork since they trusted him to make sure everything was in order. It left Carter torn about whether he should betray that trust and take over Forrester Creations. Hope Logan could see that Carter was floundering since he'd always valued fidelity, but she argued that occasionally that fidelity could be lost. Although Hope felt they'd tried hard to play by the rules, she didn't suppose it signified when the game was always designed for the Forresters to win. Hope indeed went as far as suggesting that the Forresters only shut down Carter's transnational luxury brand offer because they didn't suppose of it first. Hope also felt that Carter could be out of a job if he continued supporting the Logans, so Carter eventually said they had to defend themselves. Still, Carter decided he'd try one further time to get through to Ridge and Steffy. Still, Carter made a vaticination about following through on his preemption plan, if that didn't work. At Forrester Creations, Steffy continued to dispute with Katie Logan about the press release until Ridge intruded. Ridge just wished this whole mess with Hope no way happed, so Steffy bothered he was starting to shift his opinion by hearkening to Brooke Logan. After Ridge stressed what a big deal Hope's departure was, he told Katie to stay on putting out the press release. Once Katie left, Steffy said it sounded like Ridge was supporting Hope and Brooke. Although Ridge assured Steffy that he'd her back, she didn't feel so sure. Carter ultimately popped up to formally again push Steffy and Ridge to reinstate Hope along with her line. Steffy acted like Hope's blasting would be old news soon after they blazoned it. When Carter claimed this was particular, Steffy said he was damn right it was particular, though she added it was also about business since she couldn't work with someone untrustworthy. Carter maintained that this was all a misreading and pushed Ridge to back him up on this. According to Carter, Forrester Creations would no way be the same without Hope and her line. Carter advised that Steffy and Ridge demanded to make effects right since they had no idea what was at stake if they didn't. At the Precipice House, Brooke showed up to see John Finnegan. Finn knew why Brooke was there and said Ridge was there before too since he wanted to talk about how out of control Hope was. Brooke rubbernecked in shock over that comment and claimed what happened in the design office was an accident. Since this was all a misreading, Brooke assured Finn that Hope wasn't interested in him and was moving in a different direction entirely. Although Brooke conceded that Hope made a mistake kissing Finn at Eric Forrester's party, she didn't suppose her son should be penalized indefinitely. Brooke also refocused out that Steffy had made miscalculations of her own, so Finn suggested disparaging his woman would help her win this argument. Nonetheless, Brooke felt that firing Hope could boomerang with the press, so she pushed Finn to talk to Steffy and move her to fix this before it was too late. At the cabin, Hope was flashing back to romantic moments with Carter when Brooke walked by. Brooke said she went to see Finn and gave Hope updates on how the discussion went. After Brooke refocused out that she told Finn he demanded to move Steffy before it was too late, Hope agreed and echoed the idea. Carter and Hope could make an enterprising move together. Carter Walton, to have mixed results. Carter makes a satisfying case to Ridge Forrester. Still, Carter is still unfit to reverse Hope Logan's termination. Carter seems to be scrupling on his big LLC duty scheme. Carter is the bone. That brought it up to Hope and explained how they could be in control of Forrester Creations. While it seems Carter is the only bone who inked the document so far, he also insists he's doing this with Hope. Well, I would suggest Carter accelerate up and make Hope subscribe that document, too. Carter indeed told Hope that they're both in this together, however, they both have to accept the consequences if the plan fails. Well, if Carter is the only bone who signs it, also all the consequences fall on him. Carter really seems to be questioning his plan. Part of the time, Hope seems to feel bad for Carter. The other half of the time, Hope seems to be pushing Carter to do this, despite his reservations. In any case, Carter is making one last attempt to change their minds at Forrester Creations. Carter's attempt will have mixed results. It's stated that Carter is unfit to get Hope's job back. Still, it's also made clear that Carter makes a satisfying case to Ridge. So, while Hope might still be jobless, could Ridge start to question further of Steffy Forrester Finnegan's business opinions? Could there be a concession, and if so, what does it mean for the plan? Carter formerly inked the documents, however, what will be the outgrowth? I could see a bitter Hope doing commodity really controversial that could affect Carter ever. If Ridge offers Carter some kind of concession, but Hope still remains jobless. Suckers might also see what John Finn Finnegan does after having two competitions. Will Finn vent to Steffy about being grilled by both Ridge and Brooke Logan? Carter tries to change the Forresters' minds about firing Hope, but to no mileage. Also, he strongly presents Ridge with another idea. Is it licit, and will Ridge consider it? Stay tuned to find out. Carter and Hope have a plan in their fund for vengeance against Forrester Creations. Still, Carter remains a little equivocal. After all, Ridge is supposed to be his stylish friend. Carter tries yet again to bring Hope back into the pack at Forrester, but Ridge says it's a done deal. Also, Carter discusses another case for the company with Ridge. Is this a real concern, or is Carter trying to get Ridge's hand as part of his sharp master plan? Hope and Carter were swept down by the idea of taking over Forrester Creations. Tricking Steffy and Ridge into subscribing over the company to Carter was simply intoxicating. Latterly, Carter questioned whether this was the right thing to do. Still, Hope comforted him and claimed that this was the only way to get what they merited. Ridge began to lament all the company fermentation with the Logans. He visited Finn to get explanation about the day Hope fell on top of him. Finn was adamant that Hope crossed the line and was hitting on him. Ridge remained skeptical. Finn entered another visit about Hope from Brooke. Again, he stood firm and claimed that Hope acted erroneously. Ridge told Steffy he wanted peace with the Logans, but she remained recalcitrant. She maintained that Hope gave her no other choice but to fire her, and besides, her line was failing. Steffy made sure she got that press release out snappily about Hope moving on so that there would be no way to undo it.